Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool rotary desk telephone. It's not got a lot of markings on it, so I'm sure it's a UK phone, and it's just a great color combination. It's a really cool telephone. And this was sent in by another repair company, and this is Brent's telephone from Texas. And that's not uncommon. We get a lot of telephones in for repair from other repair companies. And they have a note here, and it says, the only problem with this phone is that we cannot hear a dial tone or the caller on the other end. They can hear us, but we cannot hear them. When the phone is connected, we can hear a slight click in the receiver when you depress the cradle, so it seems the connection is faulty. And then they've got some other things here. It says dialing out, check, making calls, check, ringing, check, can be heard by receiving caller, check. So basically what they're saying is it's coming down to something, and that they've been through the telephone and probably checked the handset cord, the receiver capsule, and things like that. So now what we want to do is, I'm sure they went through it pretty good, so we're going to double check everything though. We want to check the handset cord, and we want to check the receiver, and we want to check all the connections. But then we will probably go back into it. If that was all found good, we're going to go into the board. But this is the initial checkout of this telephone, and it's just a really cool telephone. And since it's the initial checkout, I already have it apart, but look at the action on the rotary. It kind of stops and jiggles a little bit. Pretty cool. And then I'll show you the handset, but I also want to give you some dial tone, which it doesn't have. So there's no dial tone. Now there is transmit. If I take dial tone away and speak into the transmitter, you can see that red light on the analyzer, and that's an indication of 100% modulation. So we want to hang up again. No dial tone. We want to go through our numbers here real quick. I'm going to end in a 2. I'm going to hang up again, try to give you dial tone, and there is no dial tone. So what we want to do is we want to unplug this telephone from the analyzer now, and I want to show you this telephone on the inside, and we have it apart. Make sure we have all the screws loose here. That gives you a look at the inside. And in the UK, this is how they make their connections. This is the line cord and then the handset cord. And once you pull this plate off, basically you can just pull these tabs out and they plug right in. So that's very cool. And then the line cord does the same thing. And this little tab was probably for something else, and it's just a little tab to fill that void there. So a very cool telephone. One thing that we can do is we can plug it back in and check for the ring, and I'm sure it works. We'll go ahead and ring the telephone. I'll let that go one more time. And it doesn't seem to ring all the time. So let's do that again. So we may have some other issues with this telephone. We're trying to ring it, and it didn't ring. So let's disconnect it. So it looks to me like it's not ringing all the time. So that'll be another issue that we'll have to look into. We'll go for dial tone, and of course there is none. We want to hang up again, checking all the different ring cycles, and it doesn't seem to ring every time. Do that one more time. We may have to go into this bell too. Seems like we have a problem with the bell also. Now, when we see this ring cycle go by and the bell not ring, I'm going to tap the bell. There was no mention of that in the note. So basically we've already found another problem that this telephone has, and it's within the ring cycle. Now it's not ringing. See if it goes for a second ring cycle. We'll try that one more time. See if we can get it to do it. There it goes. So we have an issue with the bell also. And we're going to take a short break from the video and go ahead and start troubleshooting this telephone. Right now, the first thing that we're going to be troubleshooting is no receive. So we're going to go through that and find out what's going on. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and so we've went ahead and repaired this telephone. The receive was repaired at the main PC board on the receive side of the circuit. We also went into the rotary, and while it was in the shop, I wanted to go through the rotary and check that, clean it, and adjust it, even though that it was working. It doesn't hurt to go through it. We also have the bell loose, and I'll kind of give you a look at the bell here. And so what we want to do is, I also want to show you a little later, or I can show it to you now. There is a bell adjustment here, and it's a very simple. If you turn it one way, what happens is this side of the adjustment stands up higher off of the base of the phone, and that would squelch the bell. I'll turn it over here. So that would be the small bell, so that would squelch it right there. And then if I turn it, then it goes to the big bell, which means the loud side, and it does not stick up from the base of the telephone there like it does on the soft side. So anyway, what we want to do, I have the bell loose. Want to move everything around and make sure we get it set into place because we don't have any screws in it. Go ahead and give you some dial tone. dial our numbers if you watch the analyzer. I'm going to end in a 2. We're going to set that aside. I'm going to hang the telephone up. Now I can start and stop the ring cycle from the button on the left. So what I want to do is I want to start a ring cycle, and I want to do this several times so that the bell gets to activate quite a few times, and that way we'll know if it's ringing or not. We want to fire that bell. We want to make sure it fires every time. And then we also want to make sure that bell rings on the low side. So we know the bell is working properly now. What we can do, so we can put the screws that mount the bell back in, so we'll take care of that right away. Make sure they're tight. We know the rotary is working now. It was before, but we want to put our cap back on. This is the dust cover. Now in the UK you'll see a lot of these mounts that come up, and they go into like a rubber fitting that holds the keypad together in its mount. You can see these tabs that stick out. They're pretty famous for that design, and it's a pretty simple design. You just push the tab in that side and you're all ready to go. So that's pretty cool. They had some great ideals. Now what we want to do is we want to check everything one more time. So we know the bell is working. We'll just dial a 2. Go over and check the receive. Dial a 2. We want to check the transmit. Transmit's working. So now what we can do is unplug the telephone and put it back together again. We want to make sure our wires are out of the way when we put our screws back in. There's just one, I believe. This is another pretty famous design that they have here for the UK telephones. A lot of times they'll have this cap, which is a pretty simple deal, and it's a great ideal. Get that tightened back up. Here's our bell adjustment. Very simple ideal too. We'll put it on high. This is a really cool telephone. Very cool color combination. go ahead and tighten our body down. Now the name that I'm finding on this, on the keypad and one other place on this telephone is Entel. E-N-T-E-L. Entel. So that must have been the company that produced it. What they called it, I'm not sure. It's a UK phone though. It's designed like one and it looks like one, so we know that's for sure a UK telephone. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to go ahead and do this deal with the ring cycle where I stop and start it, because I want to make sure that bell's going to fire every time. And we'll do it on the low side. And if you remember in the earlier part of the video, I could ring the bell about the third time. It wouldn't ring anymore, or the fourth time. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to go ahead and take this adjustment. I want to put it on the low setting. We'll let a ring cycle go by and I'll turn it up. Then I'll turn it up some more. Then I'll turn it up all the way. Very cool. And simple. We'll do this one more time. Okay, we can be pretty assured that that bell is going to fire every time now. So we'll go ahead and ring it. We'll let it go one more time, we'll answer it. Give you some dial tone. I'm going to transmit into the handset again. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. Okay, now we can move the telephone over to a regular telephone line. And we'll go ahead and call like a time and temp number. Use some dial tone.
St. Clair Auto Mall with 5 new car lines at one location in O'Fallon. Offenburg.com. Today is Sunday, August 12th. The time is 4:50. Current temperature 92 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Mostly cloudy tonight, 50% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm, lows in the upper 60s. Monday, partly to mostly cloudy, 30% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm, highs in the upper 80s.
Okay. Now what we can do is we can call my number and it'll be busy. Give you some dial tone. So we know this telephone is repaired now. And Brent's got a really cool telephone here. It's it's a keeper. That you won't see too many of these. You do see some UK telephones here, but you don't see too many of them. They're around, but they have really cool designs, and they have some good ideals. So They're a major player in the telephone. I mean, they made them for years over there, just like we have, and they just got these cool looks to them, and it's different, and so it's quite a conversational piece. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Right before we go, I want to ring it a few times, give you some dial tone. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.